afraid of taking risk. I'm pretty known for that. Decision making and risk taking is something at times my bosses also get a little bit worried that I'm just taking those decisions. But they support me for that, right from having twin sons to coming to and establish in Mumbai and working for 12, 14 hours and also delivering it and taking care of your babies with no support, definitely. But it was amazing. I think looking back, no regrets.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chandra Balani. I head the global enterprise business for AWS India, working with Amazon Internet Services Private Limited, AISPL. I also lead the inclusion, diversity, and equity initiatives for AWS in India. This presentation is part of a video series titled Her Leadership, which is being led by AWS in association with Your Story. Through this series, we bring to you stories of countries' leading enterprise business leaders. They speak with us about their successes, failures, personal and professional milestones, learnings, and traits that make them the leader they are today. For this video today, I have Aparna Kumar, Chief Information Officer, India, HSBC. Welcome, Aparna.
Hi, Chandra. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to meet you virtually. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing all about your journey and your leadership. Thanks for joining us today. All right, let's get started. So Aparna, you're closing in on 3 decades of professional journey. What have been the things and aspects that you're most proud of, if you want to get started with that?
So I come from a very small town in Gujarat, and my aspirations at that point in time was, if I get a job, I'll be happy and I'll be able to do something. So my journey, which started from a small place in Gujarat, which is very famous for Sardar Patel University, the Iron Man. And the job there was 30 years back to build a payroll system. And when you successfully do that, you feel you were on top of the roof. And exactly after 30 years today, when I'm giving a customer an additional feature on a mobile or an internet banking, he still feels that, there is something still not given to him or her to actually, make the transaction, the financial transaction so easy. So I think that entire journey to learn, because digital for us initially and for 15 years back now has changed, transformed the thinking itself. So a lot of first and foremost rooftop was when made a paradigm shift from a software industry to a bank, which was like you become a customer now. Earlier you were a partner. So that itself was a big change, paradigm shift. And when went into that bank, I realized that what we were thinking that we are doing it is something really great. We are only building blocks. The rest of the architecture is being done by someone else, and that architecture is now you are supposed to do it. So that was the biggest challenge for me to understand when that paradigm shift I did. The second foremost thing was that to successfully do it, and never be afraid of taking risk. I'm pretty known for that. Decision making and risk taking is something at times my bosses also get a little bit worried that I'm just taking those decisions, but they support me for that. So that has been another very key factor for in these 30 years of my journey. And last but not the least, I would definitely mention my family. My husband has been extremely supportive, and the movement from one place to other has been done if he required or if I required. So 30 years have been a roller coaster ride from, right from having twin sons to coming to and establish in Mumbai and working for 12, 14 hours and also delivering it and taking care of your babies with no support, definitely. But it was amazing. I think looking back, no regrets.
Talk to us about your milestones, right? What have been your takeaways from the key achievements you've had through these various stages of your personal and professional journey?
For me, the first milestone was to move to a city which was so happening and start getting working with Citibank, the erstwhile Settle, which used to call, and now Oracle Financial Services. I think that was the first milestone. I was taken within half an hour when I gave the interview, and I was thrilled that I'm, into it. That was the first milestone, which I think was very, very important for me. And from there, I haven't looked back. Uh, Second thing, which was also very important and critical, which was on the personal side, was that some 12 years back had done, along with a uh, job in OFSS, uh, and did a PGP Max from ISB Hyderabad. It's an
Oh,
18-month course.
okay.
And I had my sons, and the idea was that both me and my husband will do it. And my sons were in ninth because we didn't want to do that course when they were in 10th. You know how we Indian parents are, we give so much importance
Right.
to it. So both of us did it, and every 5 weeks we had to go to Hyderabad. And we did that for 16, 17 months, Chandra.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And nothing on the work front got impacted. Family got some support actually from my in laws. But work wise, actually nothing impacted.
Aparna, you called out on LinkedIn profile that you're a dynamic leader who thrives in challenges. Tell us about some of the challenges you faced and navigated successfully.
We were part of the development team in erstwhile iFlex and now OFSS, where we had to do pre-sales, we had to do development, and we had to also get the repeat business. Okay, and we had no clue because we were not into the sales job at all. For us, it was customer engagement, and you create a rapport and do that. There, the first time realized the potential, okay, which I never thought, and it was the biggest challenge to actually have a particular account, which we started with a very small revenue. We actually multiplied it into multi-million-dollar deal and had our team move from almost 8 people to almost 80 people, and it became a huge success with the organization, because the within 8 months the revenue multiplied. We had good number of resources who were on site, and the best part of it was customer really, really appreciated the work which we had done in terms of giving them options, both technically as well as business improvement. So we took both the things in our hand, which is business process reengineering, and we also took the technology aspects where we were re-architecturing for them. The challenge here was it was a very old technology we were working on to. Customer wanted us, and we were given a challenge that you have a very small project, and let's see what you can make a difference. And we became the front runner in building that rapport and relationship.
Let's take a trip down the memory lane to get to know a little more about your formative years. What were your influences growing up? You spoke about your father. Any other instances or people who made a lasting impact on you?
The influence I got was from my grandmother actually. Um, she was a topper at her time, and she came from a very rich family. And after the uh, partition, how she made herself acclimatized and compromised on things which she would have never imagined. But she never lost her charm. She never lost optimism in life. She 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 was like, she was very, very progressive in her thoughts. She ensured all her daughters, everybody is having excellent education so that they can stand on their feet. So that was the first thing which came to me. She was very clear. You must earn your living without losing your values. Point number two. Yeah. Your integrity is something that you should never lose. Never in your life, come what may. So in Hindi, you say, sar kata denge, wo jhukayenge nahi type. So she always used to say it, never bow down to people whom you think is not right. Don't support them. Take your stance. That is something which I learned from her.
Had a front seat to the disruption and digital transformation of the banking industry. What kind of impact has it had on you as a professional? If you want to share a little more on this aspect of your professional life.
Yeah, I mean, all of us have used that .NET printer, right? Those
Yeah.
big ones with 180 columns, and you had to adjust it, and you do it, right? And
Yeah.
the payroll system, which I told you, I created it in some 30 years back or 29 years back, right?
Right.
It started with that printer, right? I'm where you had to print a slip, or if the slip was coming on the desktop, everybody will be very happy to see that. From there to where we are today, and that journey which we covered, or I covered, or the world is covering, that disruption was something which I believed in, Chandra.
Yeah.
It was something which was told that this is the way the world is going to be. Either you hop on the train or you just stand and see. And to disrupt, I was fortunate enough to work with those organizations who also had the same belief. And so for us to be the front runners or to become the early bird, to adopt and understand that customer is our center, and I can only impress or delight them if I will use technology, okay, as a medium.
Yep.
So my disruption was not just about business process reengineering or some kind of technology. The disruption was that how am I going to delight my customer, right? And how technology is going to help. So business were the drivers and technology were the supporters or enablers.
Yep.
This thing has changed quite, I think, maybe 10, 15 years back when technology has become the driver. That's why you see so many fintechs and all, right? Startups. But that is something which I learned in last one or two organizations, where the firm believe that disruption is the way of life. That is the way how you can not just survive but thrive in this world and can have one of the best technology. And it's okay to say that you are one of the best technology bank.
You've grown into leadership roles from quite some time now. How do you describe your leadership style? What do you think is a useful quality element in your leadership style? Any areas you think you still need improvement?
Oh yeah, I think this one is the toughest question for me. So I'm known as a no nonsense boss when it comes to work. Um, my leadership style is to ensure that when we are committing something, right, we need to ensure that we are able to do it. Okay, and I'm ready to stand in front of you. Okay, I'm not scared. I'm right there with my team, be it a developer, be it a delivery head. I'm right there in front of them so that they have the free hand to do what they want to do. Yeah, but the right way.
Right.
The first time right is very important to for my team when they are, going and talking to us. Second thing which is very important from which my behavior, if I look at it, I'm a very blunt and very honest. I don't know how to mince words, and that has something always, doesn't create a good relationship with people because they feel that this is not the way to talk. But this has given me advantage with my customers when I was in the software industry, where they used to appreciate it. Uh, because I was very transparent to them that I have this problem and I can't, solve it. So in both ways, but I've tried to be now. um, I've tried. I'm still trying to be either don't speak or speak less, or if you are really, really annoyed, then let's try to see how to convey your message. And I'm I was pretty aggressive, Chandra. Very, very aggressive. For me, I don't know. I mean, if failure is one part of it, but if you intentionally don't do things or do incorrect things, then there is no space for that in my world for you. It's not there. Learnings are a lot more learnings. So I've become more and more empathetic to people. To realize it, particularly in the COVID times, it came quite handy when people were struggling. They are under. It was really a bad phase for many people around. That is something which I feel needs everyday improvisation. And second thing is the people connect. Um, mm, the so-called your network. I think that is something which uh, I don't go out of my way. I just believe that my work should speak, and my that's how my team should be recognized, and that's how I should be recognized. So that is still learning.
So, Aparna, participation of women in tech as well as leadership roles has been a work in progress, if I may call it, from quite some time. What's your take on what can we do as a society to improve on this aspect? What can a leader like you play a role in helping more women into technology as well as into leadership roles in general?
You are absolutely right. The journey has been like a long, drawn journey. We started, I think, many decades back, and we still see very few women leaders on the board, and we see very few women on, and that's why we normally talk about them, right? That itself shows that we are not there. I feel there are a couple of things. One is it solely also depends on that woman, that what is it that she wants to do. Okay, normally what happens is when we reach at a crossroad, right, that is where we just give up because we feel that is not something that we want. So if you don't want it, you are not going to get into that space. So the first step which I feel, which people need to look at, lot of leaders around, women leaders, right, who have succeeded and have become CEOs or MDs or CXOs, whatever. Why are they there? Only because they felt that they want to do it. It is not somebody who's pushing them. It
Yeah.
is they themselves. I think that change is the cultural change. It's a mindset change that women themselves have to bring in. So that is first thing I feel it is very important. And how we can do it is by continuously sharing the success stories, even sharing the failure stories, in terms of that somebody dropped it, again picked up, and we are doing that as a society now. If you see large organization including HSBC, right, we are going and asking, coming up with the programs where we take back the women who had left because of their children or
Right.
some other family pressures. So those programs are on, which means there's a definite attempt to give women the opportunity to come back and really showcase their skills and capabilities. The second thing which is very important here is that we are in 2021, and we still have gender diversity related questions. Whereas we were talking about equality when we were trying to get freedom, right, in 1947. I think somewhere that thing needs to be a little bit tuned to make people understand that actually there is no difference. Um, please come and join. I'm saying, please have aspirations to do stuff. So this diversity thing, at least I'm sorry, but I don't believe too much in that, because I feel on one side we are talking about equality, on the other side we are saying this is something which we need to give it to women. Uh, and then I think another thing which is very important, which somewhere down the line is still missing, and now in this internet age, I think a lot of um, we need to publicize a lot of uh, women who have gone into various spaces, because now people read it, right? Technology has made the information available, and with that they can get a lot of courage to take certain things in their hand. You don't need to be a postgraduate always, or you don't need to be a doctor always. It's your mind. If you can do something, there are plethora of opportunities now across the world. And I think that that one step, that step which they need to take, just one step, I think that is the key.
I'll pivot a bit, right? You've been working from so many years, and you've been so successful. I'm sure there are certain moments where things didn't go your way, things didn't work. I'm sure you had moments of your self-doubt. How do you pick yourself? You've had such a high pressure job in many of those, with some demanding projects that you've been working. How do you bring yourself up in times which are difficult?
I'm still not there. I still have my moments. Uh, I still have my moments at times, like, to what the hell am I doing with myself? And so earlier days, sorry, I'm bringing my husband again and again, but I think he was one of
Oh,
my strength that who used to tell me it's fine. So if I'll tell you honestly, 99.99% time things never went my way. Okay, they
oh,
were never they never went my way, and it was very difficult for a person like me who was so impertinent and so confident that what I'm saying is right, and I can prove it. I can prove you with data, and then things don't work your way because somebody else has some other better thought to do it. Uh, so previously, in the initial years of my work, I used to have many days where I was not able to overcome uh, those aspects, because I thought that this is like I'm just being rejected. I'm not being considered. My ideas are not being taken up. Over a period of time, realized it that even if you have an idea, why don't you just go and speak to some of your allies and use them as a sounding board? That do you think this is something which can work your way, or this is something which can be acceptable to the various stakeholders, and do that. So I tried that. And what used to happen, my ideas used to be taken up and somebody else will go and sell it. So then I learned to be patient, to see that whatever has been decided, it is for the best of the organization. So let's go with the flow and ensure we make it a success. Uh, but it took a lot of time for me to take that and come up and accept it, that it's fine, it's okay. And last but not the least, the challenges or it has never stopped, Chandra. Even today morning, if you ask me, or at this point in time, right, there are things which won't go your way, which will never go your way, right? You have to figure out keeping your values, your integrity intact, a way which can ensure that the organization you are working with under no circumstances is under any kind of risk, and what you are proposing is for the betterment of the customer and the business. Till the time you remain in these two three areas and you that is intact for you, um, I think that's fine, that's okay, and it's okay to be not okay. So I think that also helps at time to just leave things aside and move forward. So the mantra has been, today is done, tomorrow is a new day. So today was a transaction which we didn't work out, went something else. Tomorrow is a new day. Let's go ahead and do something else. Do the same thing, but do it differently.
On that note, tomorrow is a new day. Last question. What are you hoping to achieve in the upcoming years? Any kind of impact that you foresee that you want to create with your work, apart from a fabulous journey that you already had?
At this juncture, my aspiration has shifted more towards how to enable the customers and avoid any kind of risk or playing with their money. A very different aspect, nothing about my being an entrepreneur or becoming a global CIO or becoming anything. And I'm also turning more towards philanthropy. I want to get into that space, and I'm also getting a bit into spirituality, which has been there with me for years now, but I'm taking it quite seriously. So my aspirations are have changed.
Changed.
What I thought I want to or wanted to become after introspection, it has become uh, like what is the purpose of my life, uh, and why am I here? What am I doing here? And how can I contribute uh, since I'm here to the society, even make a small difference in any form? I don't have ideas as of now. I've been thinking, but that is the path I want to move forward with. As
So, if I may put it, from how to live better to how to give better. So, what is a new skill that you've learned recently, Aparna?
I have learned how to do programming on cloud.
Oh, nice. can't feel better about that. If you could switch places with one of the Marvel or DC superheroes, who would that be?
Marvel.
Any one of them specific?
No, I'll be fine with any one of them.
all wonderful. What's your favorite childhood memory?
That I made my neighbor wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and got his car out, got the shop opened, had my ice cream, and came back and slept in their home.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Now, because of the health reason, none. But yeah, I enjoy all flavors of ice cream.
What's your go-to thing to unwind?
Meditation. Just trying to get into that space where I just want to sit uh, with myself and with my divine self and just be there to calm myself.
Got it. Got it. If you could start a rumor and get away with, what would it be?
Oh, that one should have somebody answer. That Aparna has become a monk.
Monk. Okay. All right. In your childhood, which subjects were you best at, and which subjects were you worst at? Maybe one subject each.
Yeah, I was worst in chemistry,
Okay.
and I was good in English.
Thank you so much, Aparna, for sharing these valuable insights and experiences with us. More power to you. May you continue be successful in your journey ahead. And thank you everyone who tuned in for this today. We've had a wonderful series of interviews. We have more interviews lined up with many other strong and successful leaders like Aparna. Keep watching this space for more. This is Chandra Balani signing off today. Bye now.